This is another video brought to you by the Ichiban Productions. Like, comment, subscribe. So welcome everyone, happy days are here again. We're back with a different type of experience. We are going to check out Comic Con in Birmingham. So when we got there, we arrived, we parked in the east gate, jumped on a little shuttle. It took about 10 minutes to get to the main entrance, which you're looking at now. Let me give you a Brucey bonus, bit of advance advice. If you're going to go to the NEC and you're going to do some parking there, you want to book in advance. You'll save yourself £5. I think it was about 13 instead of 18 on the door. So when you know, it'll save you a bit of money. Heading through the main entrance, you meet some security to check you over to make sure if you're going in cosplay that you've got nothing sharp or no metal or anything like that. Foam, plastic, it's all good. Heading towards the front, we got there with some early bird tickets, so we could get in at 9 o'clock. We arrived just after 9, probably about 9:15, so we could bypass a lot of the queues. Heading through the main doors here, you start to see where the queues began. I can only imagine if we got there before 9, we'd be queuing through all those gates and all those railings, whereas about 9:15, it was smooth operations, just a walk-in line to get through, it took no time at all. One of the most common questions I have about things like Comic Con is, do you have to dress up? Absolutely not, you don't need to. However, for this Comic Con, I would say it's probably close to 50-50. There were a lot of cosplayers. I saw a lot of One Piece guys, I can tell you that, with that straw hat. It seemed to be the most common. But there were some amazing cosplays if you can keep your eye out as you're going around. Something really to aspire to if that's your sort of thing. Keep your eye out to the right here and you will see the greatest dad of all time. His kids come dressed as Ash from Pokemon and he's gone all in dressed up as Pikachu. Fair play, 10 on 10, can of Coke to that guy. Just coming in sight now is the main entrance to Comic Con. You go through, they're sort of imagine if you're walking into a shop and you're going through metal detectors, but they are absolutely not metal detectors. But that's where you're going to get the wristbands. On this day, we came on a Saturday, we had some glorious blue wristbands to wear. Granted, no one checked them once we got in, but through there is where you get them. They were super efficient, straight on through. On the other side, you're greeted with what I can only consider are professional cosplayers. I mean, look at Captain America there, looking deep into your soul. The one thing I will say about some of these professional cosplayers, I mean, assuming they're being paid to be there wasn't a lot of interaction with the crowds. Maybe there were whilst they were queuing, but for me, I'd have thought there'd have been more interaction there. But fair play, those costumes are 10 on 10, but I guarantee you Comic Con are paying for them. Just off camera to your left was a map of the place so you could see how big it was. It was spread out over 2 huge arenas. Main section was filled with stalls and things to sell, and we had signatures down one side. On the left hand side, which I think we pan to in a second, are where the foods are. There's loads of seating for food, which is good. That got busy real quick. And straight in front of you coming up is the Instagram, TikTok background. If you're that sort of person, you can go behind that illuminated sign and post something on your social medias to advertise the place. Throughout the video, giving an overview of the things that were for sale. Personally, I loved the custom-made Starbucks cups, and in fact there was a lot of custom-made stuff throughout the stalls, which I really appreciated. The more custom stuff, the better. That and tons of pop vinyls. If you love pop vinyls, this is the place for you. For me, there was a bit too many, it was a bit samey. Right in front we got one of my favourite stores. It was selling Gremlins Christmas tree decorations. Me and the fiance have always said we'd love a gimmick tree, we can have those crazy decorations on. These Gremlin ones would be right up our street. After all, we do have a Christmas tradition of watching Gremlins after we've opened our Christmas presents. Generally we get about 10 minutes in and fall asleep. First purchase of the day, a bottle of water and Pepsi Max. £8 please. Loving the Michael Myers mask there and the festive black Christmas hat. £30 for sweatshirts, £10 for pictures of celebrities stylized. I thought they were pretty nice, you can't go wrong with those. Straight in front now, you've got an area where you can play board games and card games if you like. Not sure it's my sort of thing to go to Comic Con and do that, but the option's there. Deep breath, my goodness, £170, the most expensive alien figure in the world. It's Vasquez, of course, totally need it for the collection, but I'm not shilling out £170 for that, no way. Some things just make you laugh, and there it is, the Big Kahuna burger and the Royale with cheese. Americanized, stylized sweet boxes, very clever marketing, I do love it, but £40, I'm not sure. I'm making myself sound like a real cheapskate here. Plenty of NECA figures if that's your sort of thing, all about the same price of $40 to $45. If you need one to complete your collection, you would definitely find one at Comic Con. Big shout out to the Real Son, who makes identical products to what you're seeing in front. ID cards, cosplays, Halloween costumes, all that sort of stuff. I'll link his website down below. Movie Memorabilia, big shout out. Something that's definitely become more popular at Comic Con are these 3D printed statues. Loving the quality and the detailed painting. That Nightmare on Elm Street one, yes, 10 out of 10. I should have asked how much it was actually in reflection, but there's loads of that. Straight in front now are all the celebrities signing autographs. Me personally, there weren't many there that I recognised or was interested in other than David Hayter from Metal Gear Solid. But I think his queue is 3 hours according to the sign, which is absolute madness. This still took me back, nostalgia 101, my goodness, I think I owned a lot of the stuff that was on here. I mean, I see those Star Wars Episode 1 figures, I remember buying loads of those. Loads of retro comics, but coming up next, I mean, I marked out when I saw these, takes me back to my childhood. It is McDonald's Smurf figures, nostalgia. This, right now, was my favourite stall, hands down. It was 3D printed and painted statues, the quality was excellent. And they were massively good value for money. If you consider how much you pay for a large statue, you know, from a professional manufactured company compared to what they were selling them for, it was an absolute fraction. I guess that's something to do with licensing fees, but we don't worry about things like licensing fees and copyright. 3D print, sell it, make a load of money. I loved the Hellraiser ones, but there was tons of Marvel and Superman down the other end as well. Something for everyone. I was blown away by the designs of some of these custom made controllers and faceplates and things for the PlayStation 5 and Switch. If there was a Venom one, I'd have been all over it. Spider-Man, it was okay, but not my sort of thing. Prices were a little steep, but not too bad. We made our second purchase from this stall, a beautiful set of D&D dices. The handcrafted, painted nature of them, it was absolutely beautiful. This was about midday, and my goodness, there's a lot of people trying to access the food stalls, but what did we expect? Super busy at this point, which shows why getting those early bird tickets are so important. I totally marked out when I saw this. It is the film accurate Ghostbusters Ecto 1. I couldn't believe it. Apparently it was used in one of the movies. I assume it's the new one. One of the last things we did before we left, we visited the wrestling ring. Actually got to touch it. I thought the ropes were a little bit slacker than I would have thought in a traditional wrestling ring, but nonetheless. And we were greeted by this. It was a wrestling match, if you can call it that, between the Grinch and some sort of zombie. I was really impressed by the makeup. It looked like something from Dawn of the Dead. However, make it out for yourselves. I thought it was going to be an absolute slobberknocker, but it wasn't. It just seemed like two men hugging. But check it out, enjoy it, and yeah, what did you expect? There we go, at the end of our Comic Con journey for 2023. It was a hell of an experience, thoroughly enjoyed ourselves. I will say it got crazy busy in the middle of the day, so those early bird tickets were worth every penny. And unfortunately, there were a lot of same stalls, like so many pop vinyl stuff. I like the unique stuff though, but definitely worth a visit. Enjoyed this video at all, please give it a cheeky thumbs up, comment below, and of course press that subscribe button.